welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Tulip and Golf. And we have, I'm just going to go straight right to it because, you know, this news has been on the news. And at first we didn't think it's going to go on this long and we didn't think it's going to be this big of a deal, but it apparently is a big deal with the whole well-known monk living rather luxurious life.
And his admirers or his students
has finally
his followers
still came out and defended him
right.
in like a big fashion way, because yesterday at 2 o'clock there was like a press release per se where the committee of the Wat Pa Santitham, which you said yesterday that it wasn't even part of a temple.
It's not really registered as a temple,
right.
according to can I remember
the national
the
Buddhist committee,
the Buddhist committee yesterday
like
that the temple is not even really
right. Anyway, they have a committee for this particular temple, a so-called temple, and they say that the abbot of the Wat Naram in France also came and sat in this particular press release.
Right.
There were over 100 of his followers there of Luang Pu Nen Kam who came in, and of course he's still in France, by the way, because apparently there is an organization of Visakha Busha festival in France. That was why he was there. Now they said that they tried to clarify a few things. The whole jet thing was they said that it didn't belong to the abbot Luang Pu Nen Kam. However, one of the followers requested that he went to Phuket and sent in that jet so that that would transport him.
Jet.
Exactly, to transport him to Phuket. And the reason they took a picture in that particular jet, because it's just like when we have a new car and we would like the monk to perhaps chant for it and give blessing. So they say it's the same thing, and that is why it's there.
Okay.
And as for the helicopter with the logo of Luang Pu Nen Kam on it, they said that the admirer actually put it there. It wasn't
and it belonged to
himself.
The hospital.
Exactly, Bangkok Hospital. And the helipad that they have in the temple, because sometimes they have seniors. Well, I'm not sure about that one. They didn't come on and clarify this picture. But the helipad was for some of the followers who might want to come in to actually be part of this. I think he have a victory sign going on there.
Maybe some of his wealthy followers can come visit him in the helicopters.
Yeah, that's why. And they said that as for the picture of him that looks like he was sleeping next to a woman, they say that was actually is photoshopped by one of the followers that weren't really happy with Luang Pu Nen Kam, due to the fact that the follower asked Luang Pu for 700,000 baht, and not 700,000, but like in the 100,000 range.
Right.
And he didn't receive it, or he didn't get it from Luang Pu, so he got really upset. So he did that picture, and that was a few years back.
That's possible.
And they say that Luang Pu will definitely come back on the 27th, like you mentioned, for the whole the biggest emerald Buddha in the world, right? So he will clarify that, but as for now, the followers just wants to make sure that that whole allegation is just not true. Right?
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to wait and see for Luang Pu Nen Kam himself to come in.
This thing is kind of difficult to really. I mean, the follower, the believer is just going to believe, and people that being skeptical about this thing, they're just going to believe what they hear since the first time they've heard.
But we can give him the benefit of a doubt.
Yeah, because he's not here yet.
Exactly.
We will hear more. I really believe that there will be such a big news when he lands.
Most definitely.
Wherever it is, by helicopters or jet.
And I think you have updates on
the supercars. Remember,
we got excited.
Why we have to be like
because we don't own it. We're just really excited about it.
Anyway, As you remember, on May 29th, there were 4 supercars caught on fire in Sisake province. There were 6 cars on the track, but 4 that were caught on fire, and it started all this
saga,
chain reaction about supercars, how it gets transported, why it's out there, who is it belong to, whether it's like has a proper document. And as you know, right now DSI have probably like 300 cases of all this luxury car going on in their hand, and it's going to be a fun epic.
Right.
But what happened yesterday was 2 owners of these 4 cars that was burned down. The 4 cars were Lamborghini, Bentley, BMW, and the Mercedes. Surrendered to the police yesterday. The name is Narunat and Thanan Kwan-Sawat. They were brothers.
Wow.
And the DSI didn't put any bail on them because they voluntarily coming in, but they put in 2 million cash as the collateral, just to make sure they're not going anywhere. They refused to testify or say anything to the investigators, and they said they will prepare and submit all the documents to show what was going on with their cars.
Wow.
Supercars.
Must be a very wealthy family.
Yes, considering it's not cheap. The charge initially said that they will be on the smuggling vehicles to avoid the custom, falsely declare the car type with intention to avoid higher tax, concealing the cars and selling them and transport them without permission.
Oh, okay. Well, at least see, I've mentioned that, if you have cars that, might be on the DSI list, it's best to actually go in and clarify yourself.
Yeah.
It will be a lot easier.
This is a high profile case. This is a bit crazy out there, but you know what? No one get killed, just in my opinion. It's bad at what they are doing. They're not supposed to avoid tax or custom, but yeah.
Still, very interesting.
But it's make the official and the public start really
realizing
looking at other luxury and expensive car, how they get here in Thailand. Or maybe they know, but it hasn't become big in the news.
And the thing is, it could increase the income for the government to come in and the revenue, right? Because if you get more people to pay taxes if you can have expensive cars, you just have to pay for them to get here.
True.
Now, I have another news about expensive cars, and this is if those of you cannot own it, but you can always look at them. So right now they have the Bangkok.
You can always look at them.
Well, hey, window shopping, we've done it all the time. So I think this is the way for men to actually window shopping for something that they like, race cars, so on and so forth. Didn't you go last year?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, you went with your boyfriend last year. So it makes sense. So Bangkok International Auto Salon is right now at Impact Mueang Thong Thani. If any of you interested, it's actually start yesterday, and it will run until the end of this month. So all these fancy cars, they has been modified a bit. A lot of people who like to race cars know that there's different type of pipe. There's a way to actually kind of hype it up, make it faster, which is not going to be easy in Bangkok traffic, by the way. Don't try it. I don't think you can, especially during rush hour. Unless you drive here at 3:30 in the morning like me. Then you can actually race it. Now they say that they're also bringing in a few stars from Japan because there's a lot of Japanese cars in here to show, they tend to like, car wash show, like sexy girl watching cars. Somehow that's just kind of a highlight of this event. And of course they call these pretties, these pretty girls. So you can go in and take a look. They say that there's over 300 of booths of different parts were being sold there. So if you're interested, you can go visit. Over 10 of the different types of companies that imported in cars were there as well, mostly Japanese, by the way. And they say that the tickets to get in is 100 baht. and they were hoping that they would get no less than 1 million people to come in to this exhibition. And there's also event outside as well, the activities. There's D1 racing, car drifting.
I was in several of those events last year. The drift competition is actually really fun.
Oh, you like fast car.
Well, I'm not particularly care for all these sport cars or supercar personally.
Right.
I think it's just not for me. But the competition is actually really fun and exciting.
Right, as long as there's
and you see families
slashing.
Yeah, and most of the event won't be too big. You'll see like a kind of family event in Thailand that families
so you can bring your
hanging out.
Children to go and take a look at cars as well. Boys would like it. So from starting since yesterday all the way to the end of this month, Impact Arena, Muang Thong Thani, make sure you check it out if you're interested in cars.
So at these kind of events, you will see two groups of enthusiasts. The one for the car itself and the one for all the girls.
Well, hey,
you see guys walking around with big camera.
They're photographers.
It's that some of them it's their hobbies too, they are good photographer, but only take pictures of all these girls.
Right. Now I know you have another crazy news,
it's
shocking news that I told you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really shocking, but it's like, huh? Anyway.
Well, the QE is shocking too.
If lots of you interest in the economic news or stockholders, stock exchange and things like that, you know that right now Thai market or actually any stock exchange market in the world, it's
not doing very good,
crumbling down in the red zone or whatever. But that is effect from the announcement by the U.S. Federal Reserve that they will begin to reduce their stimulus spending measure, or lots of people hear it as QE. So it's an effect to the investor, to the traders, and it's actually, we would say, it caused panic. So the Stock Exchange of Thailand president yesterday came out and tried to calm investors down. It said that the Thai's economic fundamentals and corporate earnings will remain strong and should not panic, because this should not, I mean, if it's more like mentally affecting, but financially it should
not really.
Also, the deputy prime minister also said the same thing. He said that the Federal Reserve will tapering off of QE later this year, and it will not affect Thailand. But in the short run, in the past couple of days, it's going crazy. But same day, yesterday, in the Thai stock exchange market was the first day of Nok Air. That
I heard.
That went into the trade. The Nok Air opened at 26 baht per share and closed at 27.25 baht. And they have 187.5 million shares to sold yesterday.
They're doing pretty good, huh?
Yes. It's considering the situation, what was going on in the stock exchange market. They closed at the surge of 12% on the first day of trade. We'll see how it's going on today, but it looked pretty good. It looked pretty positive for the first day in the trade market. And one more thing, if you talk about stock exchange these days, most people will also talk about gold. Trade. The thing is,
the shock.
The gold trade yesterday, between the 8 hours of the working day yesterday, since the market opened until market closed, the price changed 15 times. 15 times in 8 hours, up and down, but mostly down, because it's end up down 800 baht. It's end at 19,150 baht per baht weight.
I'm shocked that there's no news of people like actually get heart attack or something, or get really sick, because I would have been if I bought if I'm the
I
one
think a
that,
lot of people that bought
look
it
into
at
gold.
high price when it was 27,000 or 26,000 right now, they probably not even look at this
That's true.
news about gold market. They probably just turn their face away and just keep it in safe and maybe wait until another couple of years.
Yeah, but
It's
that
not
is
really
insane.
funny.
For 15 times.
15
Crazy.
times, and actually the chairman of the Thailand Gold Trading Association said that the price fluctuates that much because the effect from the foreign fund in the world market price, plus the weakening baht.
Okay, there's a lot of factors play into this particular fluctuation. Now, since we talk about Nok Air, I have to tell you, I'm very impressed that they did really, really well.
Right.
Because right now, there has been a report that Nok Air and Thai Air Asia has submitted in bills for the House of Representatives asking for 5 million baht that hasn't been paid to them.
Ooh.
Now, this is due to the fact that there are a lot of MPs that, of course, House of Representatives probably have deals with Nok Air and the Thai Air Asia for the MPs to travel around. However, there were so many no-shows. They would book the ticket and they wouldn't be there to actually take the seat. Therefore, that seat would be empty, and that's a loss of opportunity for Nok Air and the Thai Air Asia. Now they say that Nok Air submitted in 4.3 million baht in bills for the collection and 700,000 baht from Thai Air Asia. Now they say that this is from between October of last year until April of this year. And the committee has already discussed the issue with the concerned agency and found the cost of no-show that resulted in a surge of airfare costs. And that stemmed from, like I said, all the reservations that were made redundantly by the MPs and their assistants.
So 5 million baht worth of airfare for the 6 months period. And 4.3 of that is from Nok Air alone.
Right.
And this low-cost airline is not expensive either.
Exactly. So imagine how many trips
Right.
that were not taken and how many trips that were taken.
Right.
But
True.
again, they say that there's a lot of redundancy as well, where, maybe the assistant booked it and then the MPs themselves booked it again.
And they just forget to
But you
cancel
can
it.
cancel it.
Right.
Maybe this way they will have to be a little bit more careful, but it's still quite scary. Anyway, we have more of the updates on the whole rice pledging scheme because it doesn't look good
Which
right
is
now.
still an epic.
The farmers are not happy, and of course the crazy case of the university student, Chulalongkorn University student, with the
They
2
got
years
expelled from
grade
the school.
delay. Yeah, so that's next break. Please stay tuned.